Have you ever noticed that whenever you enter a room, a party, a gathering, or any function, people instantly form an opinion about you within the first few seconds, often before you even speak a word? And most people assume that the first thing others notice about them is their face, their clothes, or maybe their shoes. But the reality is far from that. And the very first thing people subconsciously notice is the way you walk, your posture, your aura, and the subtle cues of confidence that radiate from your body language. And surprisingly, in today's world, about 90% of people don't even know how to walk correctly, which is shocking considering that walking is one of the most basic things we do every single day, and it has such a massive impact on how people perceive us, especially when you are in your teenage years or early 20s, between 15 and 25, when impressions matter the most because that is the period when social validation, peer perception, and overall confidence begin to shape your personality for the future. And when I decided to study this topic extensively, I spent weeks analyzing over 20 videos of confident actors, observing how they carry themselves, how they walk, how their posture interacts with their personality, and even how minor hand movements influence the overall aura they project. And through this deep analysis, I discovered 5 critical mistakes that almost everyone, especially young people in that age group, make without even realizing it. And what shocked me the most was that when I went out into public spaces, observing everyday people walking in streets, malls, parks, and other crowded areas, I could see these 5 mistakes everywhere, repeated constantly, and 2 of them in particular, mistake number 2 and mistake number 5, stood out as the biggest and most detrimental to their perceived confidence and overall attractiveness. And these 2 mistakes are absolutely non-negotiable. If you ignore them, no matter how much you try, your walking style will never reach its full potential. And I guarantee that if you carefully observe and understand all 5 mistakes, and then apply the corrections, your walking style will improve at least 100%. And if you don't see that improvement, you can come back to this video and comment that it's a scam, because the results are guaranteed if implemented properly. So let's dive in and analyze these mistakes in detail, starting with the first and most obvious one, which is the slouched posture. A problem that almost everyone suffers from, where the shoulders are hunched forward, the back is curved, and the entire body appears weak, timid, or even unhealthy at first glance. And the minute someone notices this slouch, they unconsciously associate it with a lack of confidence, nervousness, low energy, and in extreme cases, even weakness. And this is not just my opinion, but a widely recognized phenomenon in body language studies, where posture alone can account for a 40% difference in how your walking style is perceived. And this mistake is so common that when I think about it, I remember a boy from my neighborhood who always walked with his back bent, his confidence invisible, his presence diminished, and everyone started underestimating him, making fun of him, and bullying him. And one day he came to me, frustrated, asking why people never respected him or valued his opinions. And I explained to him that the problem was not his personality, his talent, or his words, but simply the way he carried himself when he walked. And once he understood this, and consciously worked on straightening his posture, aligning his shoulders, and walking in a way that communicated comfort and confidence, everything changed for him. And now, whenever he walks in school or in any public place, people instinctively notice him, respect him, and even compliment his walking style, which demonstrates the transformative power of a proper posture. And the takeaway for you is simple. Whenever you walk, stand tall, straighten your back, align your shoulders naturally without tensing them, and create a flow that communicates ease, self-assurance, and attractiveness, because this single adjustment alone can instantly elevate your overall presence and aura. The second crucial aspect of walking that most people completely ignore is the movement and placement of their hands. And it may seem trivial at first, but your hands communicate a significant portion of your confidence and comfort level. And even if your posture is perfect, if your hands are awkward, stiff, or too tightly held against your body, the entire impact of your walking style is reduced drastically. And I remember observing 2 people walking side by side. Both had perfect posture, but one instantly appeared more attractive, charismatic, and self-assured than the other. And the reason for this difference was entirely in how they used their hands, with one keeping his hands relaxed and moving naturally with each step, while the other's hands were tense, rigid, and awkward, which made him appear less approachable and less confident. And this illustrates how critical hand movement is. So you need to focus on maintaining a natural, relaxed hand position while walking, without exaggerating it, without keeping your arms glued to your sides, and without letting them flail out uncontrollably. And if it feels awkward at first, you can keep one hand in your pocket while the other moves naturally, which still gives an impression of comfort and control. And when walking, avoid putting both hands in your pockets, constantly scrolling on your phone, or leaving an unnatural gap between your arms, because all of these create a negative impression. And always ensure your fingers aren't fidgeting, your hands are stable, and your arm movement is subtle yet fluid, which complements the posture and overall presence you are trying to convey. And even famous personalities like Thomas Shelby from Peaky Blinders maintain relaxed, confident hand movements as they walk, which instantly communicates dominance, self-assurance, and an aura of control. So this is an essential factor in mastering an attractive walking style. The third element that most people fail to recognize is the speed of their walk. And surprisingly, speed communicates more than posture or attire sometimes, because it subconsciously signals to others your emotional state, confidence level, and your level of comfort with the surrounding environment. And walking too fast gives off the impression that you are rushed, impatient, anxious, or desperate, while walking too slowly can make you appear lethargic, hesitant, insecure, or even socially awkward. And I have observed countless examples where fast walkers are mocked or questioned about why they are moving so quickly, as if their life depended on catching a train, and slow walkers are often ridiculed and nicknamed based on their sluggish pace. Like a teacher I knew in school who walked so slowly that students started calling him the turtle. And the mistake is always with the person walking incorrectly, not the observers, because movement sends a direct signal to the brain of others about your confidence and presence, and the solution is to find a balanced, natural speed that neither rushes you nor drags you a pace that makes people think, wow, this person is comfortable, confident, and in control of his environment, because speed affects the perception of leadership, dominance, and social awareness. And mastering this element is essential to creating a powerful walking style that others instantly notice and respect. The fourth component that is extremely underrated but highly effective is the position you take while walking in a group. And this is where most people unknowingly undermine their presence. Because whether you are in school, at a party, or in a professional setting, walking on the edges or corners of a group automatically signals weakness, hesitancy, or a lack of influence. Whereas walking in the center of the group projects authority, leadership, and confidence. And every movie, show, or visual storytelling medium emphasizes this. By placing the hero or main character in the center to ensure that all eyes focus on them, subconsciously communicating their importance and dominance, and this principle applies to real life as well. So always position yourself in the center whenever you are walking with a group of people, because it gives you a natural leadership advantage, boosts your inner confidence, and ensures that others respect you immediately without even needing to say a word. And it works seamlessly in combination with the correct posture, hand movement, and walking speed to create a cohesive, attractive, and commanding presence. Finally, the fifth and perhaps most overlooked aspect is eye contact. And this cannot be emphasized enough because most people have the habit of looking down, avoiding direct gaze, or letting their eyes wander when walking past others. And this single habit can destroy all the improvements you have made in posture, hand placement, speed, and group positioning, because eye contact directly communicates confidence, courage, and authority. And whether you are interacting with a child, a peer, or a highly respected individual, lowering your gaze automatically diminishes your perceived confidence and social presence. And the solution is simple but requires conscious practice. Always maintain eye contact. Look people in the eyes directly without staring aggressively, and make your presence felt. Because even if you are walking past someone briefly, eye contact ensures they remember you and take note of your presence. And if you struggle with eye contact, dedicated exercises and focused practice can solve this within days, transforming your interactions and making your walking style instantly more attractive, memorable, and commanding. And when you combine all 5 elements together, perfect posture, natural hand movement, balanced walking speed, central positioning in a group, and confident eye contact, you create a powerful, magnetic, and undeniably attractive walking style that makes people notice you, respect you, and perceive you as confident, charismatic, and approachable in every situation. And these improvements are accessible to anyone willing to observe themselves, understand the mistakes, and apply these adjustments consistently, because small, mindful changes over time compound into massive differences in perception, aura, and confidence. And this method is completely natural, requires no gimmicks, no expensive products, and no superficial tricks, only self-awareness, observation, and practice. And once implemented, the transformation in how people perceive you, how you feel about yourself, and how confidently you navigate social situations is remarkable, giving you an advantage that others overlook. And if you follow these 5 steps carefully, adjust your posture, refine your hand movements, regulate your walking speed, position yourself strategically in groups, and maintain strong but natural eye contact, you will notice immediate improvements in your personal presence, attractiveness, and the respect you command in every social, professional, or casual environment. And the results are guaranteed to boost your confidence, make you appear more dominant, and ensure that your first impression is always powerful and lasting. Because, as the saying goes, what is visible is what is remembered, and walking with awareness is the single most underrated factor in human perception that can transform your social life, professional interactions, and personal confidence. And implementing these 5 points in combination will give you an edge over 90% of the population who continue to make these basic mistakes. And this is why taking control of your walking style is one of the simplest yet most effective strategies to enhance your attractiveness, presence, and the way people respond to you naturally, effortlessly, and consistently.